always at the limit, constantly on the edge. On the track, the drivers fight out exciting duels and make thrilling maneuvers. The necessary safety is guaranteed at the track perimeter. If the cars stray offline, crash barriers, tire stacks and runoff zones act as reliable emergency brakes.
There are two types of race circuit, those with runoff zones and those without. On the ones without, like Monaco, the choice is between crash barriers and tire stacks if anything goes wrong. If you have a problem, you simply crash into them. Tire stacks are also used here and there on proper racetracks, but in front of them you have runoff zones. Under or oversteer, overtaking mishaps or technical defects. The job is to catch any involuntary departures from the track. And the drivers know that if things get hairy, the open protective areas will rescue them. It's certainly the case that if you've got a corner with a 20-meter runoff zone followed by a wall, take it a bit more cautiously than a corner that's followed by a more open space. Because then you know, okay, you can go over the limit without anything happening. You can really test out where the limit actually is. The most traditional type of runoff zone is the gravel trap. 25 centimeters deep, filled with gravel, intended to create the maximum possible friction and resistance, so slowing the car down. One drawback, anyone who gets stuck in here seldom gets back out. Used more and more often over recent years, runoff zones made of rough asphalt. Compared to sandy, loose gravel traps, asphalt has the advantage that cars leaving the track maintain their grip on the ground. A kinder alternative for cars and drivers alike.
Sand will stop you quicker, but sand can also make the car pitch. You can make the car lift. Asphalt, if big enough and with a great enough area, can also stop the car. It depends on the circuit and the corners and how the whole thing's set up.
Formula One drivers concentrate on the perfect line. In the heat of the battle, no one gives a thought to potentially leaving the track. The asphalt zones have some very positive features. If a car leaves the track, the grip of the zone surface enables the driver to get the car back under control. No bouncing, no rolling over. To many, however, they're not totally fair.
If you make an error in a race that you shouldn't really be be able to drive off and come back on and not really lose a position or lose much time. But of course then on the safety side of things, if you have a real technical problem, or brake failure or wing failure, there is certain runoff areas which are safer to arrest the car from hitting the tyre barrier faster. So that means asphalt runoffs are probably safer in that respect. But my first point on an asphalt runoff, if a driver makes an error, he can come back on and not be punished for his mistake, which sometimes is a bit frustrating.
The protective aspect is of prime concern. Formula One plays it safe in a variety of ways. In combination with runoff zones, tire stacks absorb the remaining force of any impact. Crash barriers are used where cars are likely to hit at a narrow angle. Posts anchored deep into the ground and multiple rows one above the other provide the necessary stability. Rigid walls, used for protection where space is very limited, such as in front of grandstands. The car is thrown back onto the track at the same angle. The only walls to provide a cushioning effect, however, are soft walls, where special foam and crash barriers are placed at the front, saving the day if you lose control. I was in a really fast right-hander where it was pretty tight, a wall and gravel trap on the left and hard up to a wall on the right, and my left rear tire suddenly blew. The car goes totally out of control. You just spin around, pull in your arms and hope. Please don't hit anything. Motor racing at the edge. But the drivers in the cockpit know. At the trackside, they're protected by the best safety precautions possible.